Hey, this is John Carlos, and I'm here with a look at the Over the Rainbow edition of Elvira Mistress of the Dark NECA 8-inch clothed figure. So every Monday and Friday in May of 2024, NECA would unveil a new horror-related figure that was part of Monster MAYhem. Emphasis on horror, not horror. And unlike a lot of the other figures that were announced as pre-orders that would be coming out like in the fall, this was announced ready to order and ship out right away in time for Pride 2024 at the beginning of June. And sure enough, here it is, all decked out in a rainbow outfit. And let's take a closer look at it. I'm happy to report that for having heels, the figure stands pretty good. The ankle joints aren't wobbly, and speaking of heels, she is wearing red ruby high heels, which is on brand for the theme of this figure. It's an 8-inch scale cloth figure, so it has pretty long legs compared to like a 6-inch or 7-inch figure. The outfit itself seems to move pretty good within the shoulder articulation. I'm not a big fan of like wiggling all the joints in reviews, but I gotta say, overall, the hips, the legs, the arms are pretty good as far as holding their pose. The head here is what really works for me. The expression here, like the gaze in the eyes. This is a really, really, really good paint job and a really, really good design. The shading on the eye makeup's great, but the mouth expression, the eye paint, really, really solid. They also did a really good job with the head, the shape of her hair. Not just the top bun, but the way it flows over the back of the figure, hangs down to the front a bit. It's really, really good. Now, one thing that I'm looking forward to trying out here is the new face swap technology that they've been working on. I think they rolled it out with one of the Gargoyles figures, and they carried it on to the ghost face mask for the last two Ultimate Ghost Faces. And here we go. I friggin' love this expression. This expression is great and classic. They've done a few other Elvira figures, the like the standard one, the Christmas one, the red, white, and Boo, and I think they all had like this face and then like the winky smiley face. I think this is the first time we've had the sort of shocked face, which is such a classic expression. The cheekbones look good. Again, the eye makeup's good. The lips and the lip paint and the sculpt on the mouth, the sculpt on the teeth and tongue. I think one of the best things about this figure, honestly, is this face expression. Besides the alternate face, she also comes with this flag, which is blank, and you can add these different flags to it. We've got the Pride Progress flag, the old Pride flag, trans flag, bisexual, and lesbian flags. A lot of good options there, and if you know anything about Cassandra Peterson, then those flag choices make a lot of sense. Also included is this tiny accessory of her memoir. Not just the front cover rendered in tiny scale, but the back cover as well. So props to them for this really, really tiny accessory that's pretty awesome. Speaking of her memoir, she's from Kansas, and she left Kansas, hence the yellow brick road with the Elvira signature on it. This is where the title of the figure, Over the Rainbow, comes from. So I think including the yellow brick road as a base really, really kind of brings the whole theme together. Lastly, even though she includes these hands on the figure, we get these bonus other hands, also I think a first for an Elvira figure. So you can do like her classic hands up against her face surprise pose, and I think the inclusion of these hands is friggin' awesome. But let's just go in for a closer look just so I can show you guys the fact that they still painted the nails. Both hands have good paint and sculpt on the ring. The figure plugs onto the figure stand really easily, and I'm happy to report that these hands with this face look great. One of the reasons why this look works so well is that not only are the hands hinged side to side instead of up and down, but the elbow joints are double elbow joints, which allow you to bring the hands really close to the face before you even get to like wrist articulation. Between the shoulder articulation, which allows you to get the hands in specific different angles, the wrists and the elbow joints, I think this look looks awesome. Here she is holding her memoir, and I gotta say, the elbow and wrist articulation also help in getting the figure to be able to hold the book close enough to her body. Like there's no awkward, like outreached arms. You can really bring her hands and her arms really close to her. It really, really reads well. Here's the figure rocking the pride flag, well, the Progress pride flag, which I've put on this side. I don't know what I'm putting on the other side yet. These are stickers not reusable decals. So once you put them on, you might be committing to one particular flag, unless you want to put one on one side and one on the other, or unless you don't mind pulling the sticker off and it losing stickiness over time if you rotate through flags. Either way, though, I gotta say this figure looks really, really good. Enough for me to even get it in the first place. See, years ago, I got the Amok Time Elvira, like 7-inch figure. And that was good enough for me. I have this thing where if years ago I already bought a figure of a character, and then years later, NECA makes that same character again, I don't always just double dip and get another one. Shelf space matters. If I already have a good Elvira figure, I don't need to get another one. But despite all these other Elvira figures coming out over the years, when this one came out in this particular style, and this particular outfit, I knew it was time to double down and finally pull the trigger on a NECA figure of Elvira. Not just a NECA figure, a clothed figure, which I'm not really into. I barely have any. I've got like the Burnt Chucky, and I've got Bill and Ted and Rufus, and that's about it. Not counting the Ghostface figures that are Ultimates and not the retro or 8-inch cloth ones. The reason I really wanted to get this one is the design of this outfit is so great, not just for Pride Month, but the fact that it's rainbow colored, the fact that it includes Cassandra Peterson's biography, and the fact that they've gone in with the red ruby slippers and the yellow brick road of it all makes it so personal that it's not just Elvira and like gay pride. It feels like it's a Cassandra Peterson figure, not just an Elvira figure. And I think that's cool. Elvira isn't just a horror icon, she's a gay icon, and more than that, she's just an icon. So props to NECA for making this figure. Even though Elvira never wore this outfit, it was designed in partnership with Cassandra Peterson herself, and I love that a portion of the proceeds were donated to the Human Rights Campaign. Like, all in all, this figure is awesome, and I think it's really cool that NECA made it. I think it's cool that her publisher let them use the likeness of her book just to be an accessory. Everything about this figure, from concept to execution, the tailoring of the outfit, the making of her black belt into a red belt, the colors, the hair, the faceplate swapping, it's all awesome. Thanks for watching, everybody. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this figure, and if you want to be up to date with all my latest reviews, be sure to click subscribe.